Hey everyone, I'm gonna go without introductions today. I just don't want to follow any structure that I followed before, and I actually I don't have any idea what I want to talk about, because creating ideas for every day for already 2 months was really hard to do. I don't have so much stuff that I can talk about, at least I don't know it yet. And I just wanted to start it and see how it goes because that is the goal here, just to talk about something. I'm not sure it will be useful. There is no some specific topic. As I said, I have no idea what I wanted to talk about. So I guess just about something that can be relatable. So these couple of weeks that I've been kinda down, was feeling lonely, didn't want to do anything, had a surgery, had a vasectomy, and had to recover from that for a couple of, well, already a week. I'm just basically at my home, lying down and recovering without going anywhere to just not put any physical strain on me. And I felt quite lonely from time to time. I felt quite down, and with all of these invasive procedures and just being that vulnerable physically, it added to my already like vulnerable state, and it was really hard from time to time to even do something. So my days I usually work and playing games these couple of days, and that is really relatable to that is really similar to me from couple of years ago, before I discovered all of the self-improvement stuff, before I actually realized that, okay, I have to put in work, and I can put in work and get some results. It's not like I have to. I don't believe that now, like I have to do that, but it's like I can do that, and I can get a lot of the results from it, and I can achieve almost anything that I want in my life. And that was before. That was before where all I was doing is not wanting to face outside world people, and I didn't have anyone. I was really lonely at that time as well, but it was like a depression type lonely, and I was just sitting at home and sometimes going to work as well. I skipped work a couple of times back then because it was so hard to bear. So with this detour, I feel like my days right now are kinda the same, but with the one important difference. Back then, in my 19 years old, now I'm 26. So 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, that was the time when I was literally alone. I had no dating experience. I had no girl that even touched my hand at that time, and I was really wanting this. I had no friends. I wasn't sociable. I had extreme social anxiety. I literally couldn't talk to people and express myself and be silly. I was overthinking everything, and I also had a huge shame about not only sexual stuff at that time, but about any social stuff. And so the times where I that felt like an escaping, and that was literally an escaping because I couldn't face my life at that point. But right now, this week where I basically was doing the same thing. Firstly, it's only a week, or maybe it went on for 2 weeks already, and maybe it can go for a month or something if I will feel down, and like there's still more things that I still meet some people, so it's different. But these, in comparison to my last half a year and the last year, this period of just being at my home all day and even not going outside for the grocery stores and just ordering the deliveries. It, in some way, it feel like I was afraid of that period of being in that state and in that situation a couple of months ago, where I was so focused on productivity, on focusing on achieving some results, on making progress, on just becoming the best version I possibly can, and I pushed myself like crazy at that time. I literally had sleeping schedule, strict ones, and I didn't have even half an hour a day where I could relax. The schedule was everything was like scheduled, and any moment of being kind of relaxed was the goal by itself. So I kind of scheduled time to be relaxed, scheduled time to meditate or read some book or watch something for 20 minutes, and that was scheduled. And I was afraid of letting go of that. I was afraid of being like I am right now, where I have no control. I am just lying down and playing games and working on something, and I have no pressure to even change that. I wake up whenever I want because the work is more remote style, and I can work whenever I want. So it switches more to the from the morning hours to the late hours to the evening hours focus. And I was afraid of that, but being right now here in that situation after all of this focus on that I created, my focus on peace and gratefulness, gratitude, being just enjoying the situation and not trying to pressure myself into performing. That was kind of my goal for the first goal for the year. That was the primary focus. And with that in mind, with all of the changes that I made in couple of last months, with all of the letting go of this pressure, letting go of the idea that if I won't put every day 150% of what I can do, then I'm failure and I cannot do anything and I am just quitting. And I let go of that idea, I let go of that belief. And now, while being in that state, even it's not productive. Like, I cannot say it's productive right now, it's definitely not. I cannot even say that's focus on relaxation. It is in some way, but it's too much for focusing on relaxation. I could swap up at least a couple of more hours to be more productive. That is that is the truth. But not doing that, I am okay with it now. Me from half a year ago would have panicked by the notion of, oh no, I am not focused on my improvement anymore. But I am focused. That is the difference. I know that I am focused, and I think there is the moment that I talked about before, that when you are into self-improvement stuff, when you already was doing it, when you already put in so much work that you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and then you get to the moment when you can relax and still know that you're going towards your, like, that goal that you have in your mind, that idea, that dream that you want in your life, it is still there, it's not going anywhere. So when you don't put that much effort each day, does it go away? Does it replace in your mind as something, like when you're working on some goal, for example, on having a lot of sexual experience, having a great girlfriend, or having a business, having a good body, something like that, right? I have some of these ideas in mind. There is something at the start that it is limiting belief when we don't even believe that it is possible. And we think like, okay, that's like we need to convince ourselves to just do the work even while we are not sure that it can work. Everything in our mind tells us, oh, you will fail there. You're not allowed to have a good business. You're not allowed to have a good girl around you. You're not allowed to have a good body. But there is a time after that when you're working, you start to believe that. And I believe after that, after you start, this belief it's not always there, but it's like always there as a counter argument. So even if you catch yourself, even if you think that, oh, these thoughts came back, that, oh, I cannot do that, it's not for me, I am not the type of person that can do that. There is always this counter argument that comes up after immediately after. Like, okay, I did that. I know that it is possible if I will work on that, if I will put in enough effort, and if I will just keep in mind and keep going on and won't quit. So if that belief is still with you, and I believe after some point it's not going away anytime. So it will always be there. You will always know in some way that it is possible for you to achieve anything that you want. And that is the point, I think, that's where you can relax. And that I realize for myself right now also. Being there in this situation, like I was 7 years ago, with the only difference in my head, in my mind, I know that it is possible for me to achieve my dream. And every time I encounter that dream, even if I see that in some people, if I see that in some stories, games, videos, books, like whatever, in some, like, I have reminded that it is exists in the world. Before 7 years ago, I looked at it and I was like, okay, that is so painful in my life. I cannot imagine that I won't be able to achieve that. I really want this, but it is not possible for me. That was my line of thinking. And so I was depressed because of that. Because I see some people some people are not alone. Some people have girls, friends. Some people have a lot of money. Some people can travel. Some people are attractive, right? And I encountered that. And the only idea in my head at that time was, I don't want to see that because I don't want to encounter the thing that I am missing, and I don't even believe that it is possible for me ever. That's what I was thinking at that time. Now, I encounter this, and it only fills me even more with motivation. It's like, oh, that's cool that this thing exists. It's cool that some people have it. I may feel a little bit of pain from not having it right here in this moment. So it's not completely, like, positive and, oh, that's so cool and I'm looking forward to that. But it immediately replaced by this immense motivation. Like, I see some people are together, I see some people having awesome bodies, and I am looking at that and like, okay, I thank you for showing me that that is the goal I want in my life as well. That is the thing that I was working on. And even while lying there for like a couple of weeks already and skipping gym, I was at the period when before these 2 weeks, I was kind of tired, and even one of the biggest passions, the gym, I was skipping it because I just had so much on my plate and I just didn't want to go there every morning. Now I'm looking forward to that. When I will actually recover and physically will be able to do that, I think it will be quite soon. I really want to do this. I'm looking forward to that because I know why. I know what it gives me. I know that I want my life to be better. I want me to be the best version of myself. So I think there is a point where this motivation, this idea that I don't want to stagnate. I don't want to be worse. I still want to go on and be the best version. I still want to improve myself in some way. It's not going away. It will never go away. It can be replaced by different focus on different areas of life. So like instead of focusing on the body and gym, I can be focused on business at some point or something like that. Time is limited in the day. Of course, the focus can change, but ultimately it is overall improvement, like the net positive if you combine all of the areas of life. I don't want to be worse, and I don't want to stay on the same place. I want to go further. I want to improve. And I believe that is what is good to remember. That why am I telling about all of this? It's because to just not panic if you find yourself in this situation after some time of improvement when you already know some self-improvement concepts, especially if you had some success, if you had some goal and you achieved that in the previous times. If you had that, you will probably not be able to forget about it, forget about your dreams and convince yourself that it's not possible. That is the real danger here, to convince yourself that I should stop working on my goals. And you know, that's not going to happen after some point. And it's good to remember that. Just keep in mind your goal and focus on it. Know that it is something that you really want, and know that it is something that is possible. And know that eventually you will make it happen. And my recording is not going to stop, so good luck.